Good morning, grade 7 students. In this session, we're going to talk about the nutritive needs of the green plants. What do the green plants need in order to grow? First, let's talk about the horse. If a horse gets hungry, what does it do? Sure, it's going to nibble the grass, going to eat the grass. While if a tiger gets hungry, what does it do? Mainly, it's going to hunt a prey and then it's going to eat it. While if you got hungry, what do? Either you cook food and you don't do so, or you're going to order food. And most of you, you do this. You're going to order food. So here talking about human and talking about animals. So what about the plants? What do the plants do? What do they eat and what do they do whenever they are hungry? So here, how do they get it? Let's start step by step. So the light, water, CO2, and minerals. Keep this in your mind. Light, water, minerals, and CO2. These are the four important words. So keep them in your mind in order to start. So what are the green plants? Green plants, the definition of the green plants is they are plants that contain a green chlorophyll. So they contain the green chlorophyll. What is the chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is a pigment that's found inside the green plants. It will give the green color for the leaves. So chlorophyll is a pigment in green plants that absorbs sunlight. So the chlorophyll is a pigment in green plants and it's responsible for absorbing the sunlight. So plants that are green in color, they are called chlorophylltic plants. However, that do not contain the chlorophyll, they are called non-chlorophylltic. So chlorophyll is a pigment, it's dots inside the plant that can be seen by the naked eye. They are seen under the microscope and they allow the plant to absorb the sunlight. That's why the green color will appear. So the green plants, they are plants that contain this chlorophyll. Let's start first with this experiment. Green plants and water. The objective of this experiment, what the meaning of objective? The objective it has other meaning. It means the what? It means the aim, or it's the same as the purpose, or it's the same as the objective or the goal of the experiment. Meaning that why do we do this experiment? For what reason do we do this experiment? So the objective of this experiment is to study the importance of water for the growth of green plants. So this is the aim or the purpose of this experiment. So why do we do this experiment? Is to study the importance of water for the growth of green plants. Now we're going to study something new. What is the posed problem? Posed problem, it's similar to the aim, but it should be in the form of question. So the posed problem, it should be in the form of question. And it's the problem that we are going to pose it, to explain it, and to solve it. The aim is to study the importance of water for the growth of the green plants. So the pose problem, it's very similar to the aim, but it should be in the form of question. So you can say, what is the importance? What is the importance of water for the growth of green plants? So it's very similar to the aim, but we do it in the form of question. So what is the importance of water for the growth of green plants? What is the importance of water for the growth of green plants? For the growth of green plants. So this is the posed problem. Okay? So the pose problem is very similar to the aim, but it should be in the form of question. So this is the question here, graph of green plants, and here don't forget to put the question mark. So the pose problem from now on is very similar to the aim, but it should be in the form of a question. So why do we do this experiment? So to study the importance of water for the growth of green plants. What is the pose problem? What is the importance? So you have here WH question in English, WH question. So what is the importance of water for the growth of a green plant? What do we call it? It's called the posed problem. So from now on, you have to differentiate between the aim and the posed problem. Aim, usually it's mentioned in the text. Posed problem, it's very similar to the aim, but it should be in the form of question. So here, in this experiment, we have two plants. You have plant 1 and plant 2. Plant 1, it contains water. We have watering a cornfield, while in plant 2, it's a dry season. The plants, they grow slowly and they will die. So this plant, it lacks water. Who can tell me what the meaning of lacks? Yes, Jude, your question.
It lacks means it it doesn't have water, or
Very, very
it
good.
has
Excellent.
less water.
It doesn't have water. Lacks means that doesn't have water at all. Lacks, it doesn't have. So from now on, whenever you see the word lacks, meaning that it doesn't have. So whenever I say it lacks water, meaning that it doesn't have water. While in plant 1, we have what? We have water. So in plant 1, we have normally, we have water. So here in plant 1, we have water. So if I ask you a question, what is the variable factor between the experiments in 1 and 2? One contains water and the second it doesn't have water. It lacks water. So what is the variable factor? Who can tell me? Yes, Jude, can you answer this question? Raising your hand.
Water.
Excellent. So the variable factor is the water. Here we have in first plan we have water, and the second one it lacks water. So the variable factor here is the water. One of them contained and the other they didn't. Yes, Adnan, do you have a question?
No, I just want to answer on the next question.
Okay, yalla, prepare yourself for the next question. So we have here complete the table of conditions and results. This table of condition and result, first of all, whenever you have to draw it, you have to draw it using a pencil and you have to draw it using a ruler. So we have always in the plans, we have four important conditions. We have water, we have minerals, we have light, and we have CO2. So we have four important factors or conditions. First one is the water, second one is the minerals, third one is the light, and the fourth is CO2. In the table, as you remember in the case of digestion, we tend to put the legend of the table. So plus it means what? Plus it means presence, and minus it means absence. So here in this plants, we have two plants, 1 and 2. Plant 1, it contains water, and the plant 2, it lacks the water. So this is the variable factor. Light, it's found in both plants 1 and 2. CO2, it's found in both plants 1 and 2. So the results, what happened? In plant 1 that contains water, the green plant, they grow normally. However, in the plant 2 that lacks the water, said the lacks meaning that it doesn't contain water, the green plants, they grow slowly and then they will die. Don't forget to put a title for the table. So here we have the title and also we have the legend. So here we have two important things for the table. First one, you have to put the title. Second, the legend. And finally, whenever you draw the table, draw it using a pencil. ruler, and you have to fill it using a pen. Let's now move to the questions. Indicate the variable factor in this experiment. So Jude said that the variable factor is the water, and this is correct. Why? Because in the first experiment we have water, while in the second experiment it lacks water. So the variable factor, which is the difference as we said before, so the variable factor is the difference between the two plants. We have in plant 1 we have water, and in plant 2 we don't have water. So this is the variable factor. Let's move now to the second part. In the second part, they need you to compare the aspect of the plant, the appearance of the plants. If you have a look on these plants, these two plants, one of them is green and the other is yellow. If I ask you, Adnan, what is the aspect, compare the aspects of these two plants, 1 and 2. Ask
Can you
me
repeat
that.
the question?
You have to compare the aspects of the plants, the appearance of the plants. How do they look like in plant
Can I
1
answer?
and plant 2?
In plant one, a
Yes,
it looks good and
green
green.
in color. While in plant 2, it's what?
It looks
It, it's yellow and
lighter and yellow.
Okay, Adnan, please. It looks what? Yellow in color. This is comparing the aspects of them. Okay? Thank you, Adnan. So
yes,
here, compare the aspects. Plants 1, you have to mention here, Adnan, you have to focus on the variable. So first, the variable factor, we said it's the water. Plants 1 that are watered, what the meaning of they are watered, meaning that they contain water, they are tall and they green. Aspect, whenever we talk about aspect, we talk about the appearance of these plants. However, if we want to move to plants 2 that are not watered, they lack the water, they are shorter and yellow. Yes, Mia, do you have a question?
No, I want to answer.
So prepare yourself for the next question, okay? So analysis. When I analysis, after watering the plants 1, they grow tall and green, while without water in plant 2, the green plant they become what? They become yellow, and finally they will die. So what is the conclusion? Draw out a conclusion. Pay attention to the word draw out. Draw out, it doesn't mean you have to draw. Draw out, you have to give a conclusion. So draw out a conclusion. The green plants, what do they need? They need water in order to grow tall and green. So this is the first important element. So green plants, they need water to grow tall and green. Let's move now to the second experiment. Green plants and mineral salts. What is the objective of this experiment? Objective, what are the other names for the word objective? Who can tell me what are the other words for the word objective? We have other
aim,
words. Please raising your hand before
aim.
you speak. You have to raise your hand before you speak. So that's Mia. What do you think? What are the other words other than the objective, the word objective?
Aim of this experiment.
Aim of this experiment. Who can give me another word other than aim?
The
Yes,
reason.
it's no, not reason. Aim, objective. We have other words. Yes, Lamar. Can you give me other word other than aim and objective?
The goal?
Goal. Very good. This is a word. Who can give me another word for for the objective or the aim? Start with the letter P. Yes, Adam.
The definition of the experiment.
No, objective. Why do we do this experiment? No. Objective, it's the aim or the goal of the experiment. We have another
Purpose?
word, purpose. Yes.
Purpose?
So the purpose of this experiment, very good. So we have these 3 or 4 words, they have the same meaning, meaning that why do we do this experiment? So the first one, it was the goal or the purpose or the aim or the objective. All of them, they have the same meaning, meaning that why do we do this experiment? So the objective is to study the importance of mineral salts for the growth of green plants. Let's start to the posed problem. Who can tell me what is the posed problem in this question? So what is the posed problem? Yes, I want a new hands other than me and other than Jude. I want a new hands and new voices. Let's see, I will choose here. So what is the Adam Arauni? Good morning.
Yes,
Yes, if I ask you, Adam, what is the posed problem in this question? First of all, posed problem is similar to the aim, but it should be in the form of what?
a question.
Question, very good. Can you tell me what is the posed problem in this experiment?
The post problem is what is the importance of
Yes,
mineral salts for the growth of green plants?
very good. So the posed problem is what is the importance of mineral salts for the growth of green plants? Very good. Thank you, Adam. So what is the importance? So Adam did this in the form of question. It's similar to the aim, but he did it in the form of question. So what is the importance of mineral salts for the growth of green plants? So what is the importance of mineral salts for the growth of the green plants? Okay, so always the posed problem should be in the form of question for the growth of green plants. Okay, so always the posed problem should be in the form of a question. It's very similar to the aim, but it should be in the form of question, and mostly it's a WH1, WH question. So this is the posed problem. And here the question mark. Don't forget the question mark. So here we studied about the objective and also about the posed problem. Let's now move to this plant. In this plant, in this experiment, sorry, we have two plants, plant A and plant B. In plant A, we have the distilled water. And here in plant B, we have normal water. Like for example, if you want the tap water. So here we have tap water in plant B, and in plant A, we have distilled water. Who can tell me what is special about the distilled water? Who can tell me this? What is special about the distilled water? Yes, Aya, what do you think? What is special about the distilled water?
It has mineral salts.
Distilled water,
It
yes,
doesn't have.
contains no minerals, so there is no minerals, no mineral salts, okay? So distilled water contains no mineral salts, okay, Aya? So no mineral
Yes.
salt. Thank you, Aya. Let's move now to the tap water. What do you think tap water, Yalamar? It contains mineral or it doesn't contain?
It does.
It does. So we have here mineral salts. Let's move now to Karam. Karam, what do you think? What is the variable factor between uh, figure A or plant A and the plant B in this experiment? So what is the variable factor? Yes,
Discuss the water.
yeah, the water is the variable factor. We have water in both of them,
Yes.
but one of them is distilled and the other one is tap. So one of them contains minerals, which is the tap water, and the other contains no minerals. So one of them contains minerals and the
The
other mineral
minerals.
salts. Very good. So the mineral salts is the variable factor. So the variable factor is the mineral salt. Thank you, Karam. Thank you, Aya also. Let's move now to the questions. First, they want you to copy and complete the following table of condition. Whenever you have a similar question, this question should be copied on your answer sheet. You can't fill the table on the worksheet itself. You have to draw the table and then you have to fill it. Simple. You have four different conditions. We have the first condition is the water. The second condition is the mineral salts, and you have to know this. Third condition is the light, and fourth is the CO2. Here they didn't mention about CO2, and also they didn't mention about the light, so they are present here. Water is found, and the variable is the mineral salts. Here are the conditions. Here we have plant A and plant B. And finally, we have the results, which is number 5. So we have 5 columns: water, mineral salts, light, CO2, and the results. First, we have to put the legend. Plus, it means presence, and minus, it means absence. So from now on, you have to know to draw, how to draw the table of conditions using a pencil and a ruler. And don't forget to give it a title. So here we have to fill the table. Both plants, they contain water, plant A and plant B. Both plants, they have light. Both plants, they have CO2, but what is the variable factor is the mineral salts. Plant A, it's found in distilled water, so there is no mineral salts. While in plant B, we have normal water like the tap water or mineral water. It contains minerals. So what happened? At the end of the experiment, the result was in plant A, it grows slowly and smaller in size as you see in the figure. While in plant B, where we have minerals, so the green plant, they grow rapidly. So this is the variable factor. And also, this is the title for the table, table of conditions and results. So you have to draw the table. I will repeat, using a pencil, also sure, using a ruler. You have to close it completely. You have to give it the legend, which means plus its presence and minus its absence. And don't forget the title for the table. They said indicate the variable factor in this experiment. Already we know what is the variable factor. The variable factor is the difference between the two plants. So in plant 1, we have no mineral salts, while in the second, we do. We have mineral salts. So this is the variable factor, the difference between the two plants, plant 1 and plant 2. So in plant 1, we don't have mineral salts, while in plant B, we have mineral salts. So this is the variable factor, and this is the difference between the two experiments. Okay, so now I want to ask Michael. If I ask you, what is the variable factor, Michael, in this experiment? What is the variable factor? Michael Hussaini, can you hear me? Michael, hello, it's me. Okay, let's move to other than Michael, then you can go back to Michael. Let's move to Dalal Asaili. What is the variable factor, Dalal?